Hey guys, it's Taylor with Tech Auto. Today we're going to be working on a 2015 Nissan Juke, and I'm going to be showing you how to polish and seal all in one step. Even though this is a pretty new car, the owner has never had it detailed before, so the paint is pretty beat up. And even after a wash, you'll be able to see there are all sorts of little things, scratches and dots and just all sorts of environmental contaminants embedded into the paint. So I'm going to show you how to get rid of all that, get rid of all those little tiny spider scratches, and get your car sealed all in one step. Now to do this, you're going to need some kind of one-step polish or sealant. I recommend Tech Autos, but I think Griot's Garage makes one too. You're going to need a dual action polisher. Today we're going to be using Griot's Garage 6-inch dual action polisher. Some kind of clay treatment, which comes in all forms. I'm going to be using a 6-inch clay polishing disc, but I also like to use sometimes a clay towel or a traditional clay bar. Finally, what you're going to need is some form of clay lube. Now, most quick shine formulas made by Meguiar's, Griot's Garage, or Mother's can be used as a clay lube. Today, I'm going to be using Tech Auto's quick shine formula. And then the last thing, of course, is a microfiber towel. It's nice and lubey. Don't be shy. Get it all over. Then you're going to want to get your surface. Panel once you've got everything wet. Now we're going to take our regular clay bar and hit all the little nooks and crannies around the handle and the mirrors that we couldn't get with a polishing disc. I like to go over the entire area with a regular clay bar just once to feel around and make sure that the polishing disc got everything. I've got a full video on the clay polishing disc and the pros and cons of using a polishing disc, but as a quick recap, a polishing disc is great to go over an area very quickly, but it doesn't give you the feedback that a regular clay bar does. So it helps to go over with a clay bar and just make sure, because you can tactily feel all the contaminants coming off and rubbing up into your clay bar, that you want to go over one more time and just make sure you got all those contaminants out. Because when you go to actually polish and seal, if those get caught up in your pad, they'll just circle around and scratch all over, and all the work you did will be for nothing. It's also important to note, if you drop your clay bar, then it's done for. You have to get a new clay bar. So be careful with your clay bars, because most of the time they're about $20 a piece. Alright, now that we're done claying, we're going to take our microfiber cloth and just wipe off all the clay lubricant. Now the best way to do this is to fold your microfiber cloth into fours and then use one side to wipe off the bulk of the clay lubricant. Then, all right, now we're ready to start polishing. Now the first thing you're going to want to do is prime your polisher. And the best way to do that is to just put 4 little dots around your polisher there. And then just take your hand and rub the dots in. Now once you've got a nice distribution of your sealer polisher combo across the pad, you're going to take your sealer polisher and just do 4 more, a little bit bigger than pea-sized dots. Now, the strategy here is we're going to start off on a very low RPM. On this polisher, we're just going to go for a 1. On any polisher, you're probably going to be at your lowest setting, because when you first start off, you just want to spread the compound around. And you want to start off by working on the largest, flattish areas of the panel, just to minimize the amount of compound and polish you're going to fling around or whatever. And then once you've got it spread out, we're going to turn it up to about a 4.5 and actually start to do a little bit of work on the paint. But the first step here is to just dot it around the panel you'll be working on a little bit. Once it's down to kind of these lighter dots and spread out, and we start up the polisher. Now that our polisher sealer is nice and spread out across the panel, we're going to go ahead and turn it up to, let's go for 5. Tech Auto's polisher sealer formula, the polish actually breaks down as you use it. So you'll know when you're done when it just leaves like a light waxy haze and there's no longer a whiteness to the coating. So we're just going to let that dry for a little bit and then we'll come back and remove it. Actually, I just wanted to include a quick note on how you do these upper panels here, because tons of videos do just the hood, a few videos do door panels, and then even less do these weird curved panels up on top of the top of these door panels. It's a really common thing these days. I'm not sure why. Maybe a lot of the detailing channels on YouTube aren't up for a challenge, or maybe because you kind of have to bend the rules to do it. But according to experts at the latest NXT training, the best way to do these, and they used to always say to keep your pad flat against your work area. Now they've kind of changed it to where it's okay to just use part of the pad. So the strategy here is going to be to kind of use the top third of this pad. And what you do is you just bunny hop all along the top of this panel here. So I will go ahead and show you how to do that real quick. Now, you don't want to have too much compound on your pad, otherwise it's going to fling all over the place. So the idea here is going to be sort of like the priming I showed you a little bit earlier. We're just going to put 3 little pea-sized dots on there, just spread it across the pad, make sure it's nice and absorbed. And then we're going to start off on the low speed, just like we did on the bottom panel. We're just going to use the top third of the pad. We're just going to bunny hop all along the panel. Alright, just like the bottom panel, now that it's spread out, we're going to bump it up to a 5. Now, after you've given your sealant about 20 to 30 minutes to dry, you're going to come back and check if it's ready to take off. And all you do to check if it's ready to come off is take your finger, swipe it across. And if you see it comes free from the panel there without streaking, then it's ready to go. Now, it's difficult to see in a video, but you can see I checked twice before, and when I swipe my finger across, you could see that there was a little bit of kind of wet looking residue left behind. that's how you know it's not ready. Now, to take it off, you can use any microfiber towel, but I prefer these fancy ones with double-sided. On the inside here, it's got regular microfiber, ultra plush. On the outside here, it's kind of got these rough sewn-in lines, so it's really good to pull it off there, get one last nice little hand buff across the whole thing, and then these just to pick everything off and give a nice kind of polish finish look. So I'm going to go ahead and take this off. Now that I've got most of it off, I'm going to switch to my plush microfiber side and do one last little hand buff. Now, if we do kind of a close-up here, you can see the paint looks much, much better. Got a much deeper, more eye-catching gloss to it, but there's still just a couple scratches left in the clear coat here. And there's only so much you can expect from a